Alright, we are looking at my little workshop I recently put together. It's actually my kitchen table with a bunch of computer crap all over it. But what we're actually looking at today is a computer that I found in the dumpster at work. Now, don't go dumpster diving for stuff. I threw some stuff away and there was this computer. And the thing that caught my eye was the Core 2 Duo sticker. I thought, well, that can't be too terrible because it's got a Core 2 Duo in it. And so I opened the side real quick, which is now closed because I transported it home. And it had a Seagate Barracuda in it. And I thought, all right, well, I can at least scavenge some parts out of this if it doesn't start. Well, lo and behold, it did boot. And I did have to finagle it into recovery without the password, but I did accomplish that using some safe mode stuff. There's a lot of old tricks you can use with XP because it wasn't as secure as everybody thought. And I didn't know what kind of Duo it had in it, but it apparently has an E7500, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not great by today's standards, but you know, it's a Core 2 Duo E7500. It was a decent processor back in its day. It's only got 2 gigs of RAM, but it does have a Seagate Barracuda in it, as we can see there. The ST, it's usually a sign. It's a Seagate. It did say Barracuda on the side. Intel G45 Express chipset, 3D video, same thing. Motherboard is probably a piece of crap. I've never even heard of Pegatron. I think it is Megatron's cousin, but I'm not sure. So, but it's only got 2 gigs of RAM, which we're gonna fix that. I've got a bunch of stuff here. I don't know if the RAM will actually work, but I got some spare RAM laying around there, some old PNY stuff, and I've got a couple more sticks in this Core 2 Duo motherboard right here. Okay, right there. It's don't even remember what kind of RAM I put in it, but got that. And somewhere around here, I've got even more old sticks of RAM from a Pentium 4 Hyperthread machine that I've got in the garage. So, old dumpster PC fired up. It did boot right away. It was very slow, and I couldn't figure out the password, so I cheated my way in by resetting. I didn't care about what was on there before anyway. So there we have it, and what we're going to do is we're going to put an 8600 GTS retro gaming graphics card in there. We've also got an old Zotac. It's only a 512 megabyte card, but I'm not going to use that on this build unless the 8600 doesn't live up to its old reputation. We've also got a 9800 XLR8 Performance Edition. The downside is, see, it's got a gig of RAM, but the cooling fan is shot, so I need to get a aftermarket cooling fan for it. But it was a good card until the fan was shot. So what we're going to do with this rig is start off with the 8600. I think I'm going to wind up putting the 9800 in it, one of the two, because this 86 is going to go into the Pentium 4 machine that I put back together. But I don't even know if this thing has a PCI Express slot. So next thing we're going to do is open it up and see if it's got what we need it to have. Alright, I found the specs for this machine, and it will actually take an E8500 that I have. That's what I have in this board right here. That is an old E8500, but we're not going to put it in this machine. The E75 would be plenty. And it does have a PCI Express slot, so we can put a graphics card in it, and that's what we're going to do next. Memory, DDR2 800 megahertz. I believe it'll support up to 4 gigabytes, which is all we're going to need to put in it. The 2 may even do for the kind of gaming I'm going to test this thing on, but I believe that this stuff right here is 800 megahertz. I'm not sure. I'd have to look up that part number, but this is really old from one of my first builds, and I think it is 800. So we'll open up the side of this guy. We're going to set our admin password, and we're going to open up the side of this, and we're going to stick a graphics card and some memory in it. All right, we got old Dumpy opened up. That's what I've named this computer now. Old Dumpy. Here's our 2 gigabytes of RAM that was in here. Some made in China stuff. There's our, probably can't see it too well, but there's our Seagate Barracuda. And yeah, there's the inside of it. So I didn't look this up. We're just going to put it in and see what happens. It's a free computer. What harm can I do to it? So we're going to put some P&Y RAM in it. There's our PCI Express slot here. So we're going to pop the back off, and we're going to put that GTX, or that, not GTX, that 8600 GTS OC in. So wish us luck. Well, it's very dark and very grainy. We've got our RAM seated, and we've got our GPU installed. So let's see what happens. It's only got a 300 watt power supply. Probably can't see that too well in the sliding. Who needs light to work on computers though, right? So we're gonna see if that is enough to push that graphics card. If not, I've got more power supplies laying around. May have a 400 watter. I know I've got a 650 watter, but I don't think this computer is going to require that much, and I'd hate to put a power supply that big in such a low spec computer. So hopefully this 300 watter will do it. It's nice because usually you will see like a 200 or 250 watt stock power supply in an OEM computer, especially a business build. So 300 watts is pretty promising. We'll see what happens. All right, we're booting up old Dumpy with the new powers, or not the new power supply, with the new graphics card and the extra RAM. And the question is, will it boot at all? And it looks like it's going to try. I have no idea what kind of RAM I just put in this sucker. Well, I have an idea of what year it was made, but that's not good. It may not like the RAM. See what happens. We'll give her a minute. Nope, nope, nothing yet. Flashy colors, not good. First thing we're going to try is, let's see here. Shouldn't really be doing anything. We are going to move our video output off of the 8600, and we're just going to plug her into the VGA back there. See if that makes a difference. We don't have our drivers for the 8600 installed, so that may be a problem. I don't know if it's going to read, I don't know if it's going to change graphics device. And by the way, unless you're playing with a dumpster build, don't unplug your graphics adapter and then plug it into a different socket while your computer's on. It's bad. It's a big no-no. Your house may catch on fire. And apparently we've got nothing, so let's go ahead and restart old Dumpy. It's a power button. And have to do it the hard way. Try it again. We didn't get a blue screen, but I reset it. I kind of had to hard reset it, or maybe I didn't have to and was just impatient. So we're just going to try to start Windows normally. It may not like the RAM that I put in it, And that's fine, 2 gigabytes will probably do because we have the video memory too now. There is our boot screen. Splash, and there we go. Looks like we might actually get in. Let's put our password in. And make you look at all this garbage I have laying here. And we are back in. Awesome. So we got her to boot with the mystery RAM. Yes, I know it might be at risk. No, I do not want to do that. We're going to cancel that because what we're going to do is we're going to use Internet Explorer for retro's sake. And we're going to go ahead and get the drivers we need for that 8600. And we will be back after that. Alrighty, now we are downloading our media drivers for our 8600 GTS OC. And we're going to install those. The computer has not crashed yet, so it seems to be playing nice with the RAM. And hopefully this actually works out, and we will have a retro gaming computer. I fully expect this to be able to play games like Team Fortress 2, obviously all your old school like Doom and Quake titles, stuff like that. It'll probably run Counter-Strike fine, just about any Source game. World of Warcraft, of course, just about anything will run that these days. Pretty much any reasonable free-to-play game, they like to make those accessible to older hardware, so I expect this to actually not do too poorly. I've had a lesser computer actually run the original Borderlands. It was not pretty, but it did run at about 35 to 40 frames per second. So, and that was a Pentium 4 Hyperthread with the same graphics card in it. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll be back soon. All right, we're back, and we are booting up with the graphics drivers installed. Let's enter our password again. Recycle bin, let's move that. Put it up in the corner with Google Chrome. That's what everybody uses Internet Explorer for, right? Is to download Google Chrome. Stick with the status quo. Looks like our resolution is correct. We've got our little NVIDIA, our little icon down there. And we're back. We're installing Quake 4. Also got Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition installing. Hopefully that's still installing in the background. And we have not crashed yet, so our hard drive is probably running balls out right now. CPU is probably doing a good amount of work moving files. And we haven't really tested it with the graphics card yet, but as soon as we get this installed, we're going to fire it up and see what happens. Hopefully we don't crash. Alright, we made it through the intro videos, getting through all the little splash screens and all that stuff. Let's see if we can skip this. Can we skip this? Probably not. Yeah, we can. Alright, let's see what our settings are. High quality. Let's crank this sucker up. Guess we can't really crank it up a whole lot. There we go. Try that. Fan setting, yeah, let's leave all that there. Well, looked like it ran fine. Let's restart Quake and let's see how she does. Set you down here. Using an iPad to record this, so that's why it's shaky. play this on Corporal to see how well this does. And prop this up if we can. And once we get started, we'll be back. So just our mouse settings there. Looks like it's running buttery smooth at this point. So lock them. So this that's sprint speed. Let's just put in that. Yeah, fix me up there, bud. These guys got it. Who cares? Let's go out and fight. Looks like she runs smooth, even with the reduced power. Nothing in here. I don't remember how to play this game. It's so old. Runs really well, though. Yeah, he's not worth saving. Maybe pieces of him. Well, old Dumpy can run some games, can't she? Let's see what's going on. Yeah, there we go. There's machine gun. All right, well, old Dumpy can run some games. Looks pretty good to me.